So let me just say a little bit more about what happened so we understand. Now, I think the strength of what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez did and the Sunshine Movement, these young folks did, was they put it on the table, and they also kept the link, which we've always talked about, between economic security and climate security. We are not going to get people who can't make rent or their medical bill or pay groceries at the end of the month to be, really saying we got to take risks to change our whole production system, starting with energy, when they're not sure that they can make their own bills. So we've got to provide what we've always talked about in New York. Our Green New Deal was the old New Deal, the fulfillment of the Economic Bill of Rights, plus green energy. That's the green part of the Green New Deal. And I think it's really good that AOC kept that link, and the Sunshine Movement kept that link, even though they watered it down in other ways. But what has happened? The thing in the fall was a select committee for a Green New Deal with the power to subpoena witnesses and put legislation on the floor. And Pelosi said, oh, that's a nice idea, but you can't subpoena people. And then a couple of days later, and you can't put legislation on the floor, you got to put it through these other committees. And by the way, I'm appointing fossil-fueled politicians, fossil fuel money, to run those committees. And then, as things died down a little bit, she said, well, we're not going to do a select committee on Green New Deal. We're going to do a climate committee like I used to have. We know what happened with that, nothing. And put a fossil-fueled Democrat in charge of that committee. And so AOC and Senator Markey, who I've known since he was a congressman, in Clamshell Alliance, he was one of the congresspeople, the congressperson. He wasn't always great, but he was a go-to guy for us because he was, basically sympathetic. So they put it a non-binding resolution. And what happened with that? Pelosi won't bring it to the floor. She kind of said, oh, the green dream or whatever, right? And, then on the Senate side, McConnell said, oh, you can vote on it. And then the Democratic senators are saying, oh, you're doing a trick on us. We want to have hearings, we want to have scientists. And McConnell said, no, you're just getting the vote. So they said, oh, okay, he's tricking us. So we're not going to vote for it, we're going to vote president. And four of them actually voted against it. So this non-binding resolution for a Green New Deal, what happened to it in the Democratic Party? On the House side, Pelosi sliced, diced, and threw it down to disposal. And on the Senate side, the Democrats said president. They didn't vote for it. Because the trick was that they didn't, the real trick was McConnell was going to make them go on record in this primary, and half them senators are running for president. So that's where we're at. If for no other reason why we need a Green Party, we keep putting this forward. So